Hey everybody, thanks for joining me once again. I'm Marie and I'm here in my little corner of YouTube at A Place to Heal. And a couple of videos ago, I asked you guys if you had any questions to email them to me. And I was going to do a question and answer video. And today, I want to take care of some of your questions. You know, I thought I was going to get some little simple questions, and I was actually really impressed with you guys and the questions that you sent my way. So let's get started. The first question comes from someone by the name of Kevin S. And he writes, I deal with chronic pain every day. How do I deal with this mentally? Okay, Kevin. You know, when I was dealing with like chronic pain every day where I couldn't even get up out of bed, where the pain was so bad, um, I had to find something that would inspire me. And what I ended up doing was I ended up saying, I know that I'm going to figure out a way to be pain free. And I would keep saying that to myself. I know I'm going to find a way to be pain free. But the trick here when you do that is that when you say that, there has to be joy behind it. You have to know that. You have to believe that with all of your being. And I would say that. I would say that to my friends, and I would say that to my family members, and I would tell them I'm like, I know that I'm going to find something that's going to make me pain free. And I would have this joy behind it. And when there's that joy behind it, you're kind of sending out that energy into the universe, and the universe complies. And at one point or another, it's going to send you ways to be pain free. It's either going to be coming to you in the form of a helper, or you'll see it somewhere, or something will just catch your eye and you'll go, hey, and then you'll try it and you'll just be pain free. But I would tell myself that every day. And it's no different if you guys have not been keeping up with me for a while. I needed a car. And I would tell myself every day, because my car after like 20 years finally blew up, and I would wake up every morning and I would sit there and say, I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to get a new car. And my friends would laugh at me and they joke at me and everything else. But you know what? I got a new car. So, there has to be that, and whatever works that you need to tell yourself, but that's what worked for me. I just kept telling myself, something is going to come my way that is going to heal me. Something is going to come, and that keeps you kind of in that sweet spot where you're kind of happy about anticipating something wonderful to happen, and it kind of helps you to deal with that chronic pain every day, because I know that it can get very depressing to be in that chronic pain. One thing that I do tell a lot of people that have had chronic pain for a while is don't make it your friend, because sometimes people have been sick for so long that they start making that chronic pain their best friend. All of a sudden, they don't know how else to be. It's like they'll introduce themselves and say, hi, I'm Patty, I have lupus. Hi, I'm Dave, I have fibromyalgia. It's like all of a sudden they become their pain. Don't ever allow that to happen to you, and you need to keep close tabs on that, because a lot of people become that pain, and all of a sudden it's like they get a weird sense of, I don't know, they can bond to other people with that pain, or they have certain friends, or they get a certain amount of attention because of that pain. So that's something that you always want to keep tabs of, and you do not want to stay in that pain zone. because it benefits you somehow. And a lot of people will stay in that pain zone because it's a lot easier to focus on that pain than focus on maybe other little aspects of their life that they don't want to focus on. So, you always want to check in with your head on that whenever you're sick and find out if it's actually physically a problem or if it's actually mentally a problem that's going on. Okay, so the next question is from Mel. Hi, Mel. And she says, Marie, I was curious to know how you would go about addressing a client with serious tongue cancer. Okay, Mel. I have never dealt with anyone that has had cancer like from the neck up. I've done lung cancer, liver cancer, all sorts of colon cancer, ovarian, uterus, like below the waist, but I've never done anyone who had any cancers above the neck. So I had to call in my friend Mark. I called him up and I said, Mark, I need some help. And Mark came back with these wonderful ideas for you because Mark had to help his father. Mark is also a healer. He's also an alternative healthcare provider. And he had to help his father with mouth cancer. So Mark suggests these few things for you. Number one, oil pulling. Although he says that he does not believe that oil pulling will heal teeth, he says that he does believe that it can help with mouth or tongue cancer. And what you want to do is, instead of using coconut oil, you want to use sesame seed oil, and you want to put it into your mouth for 20 minutes and you want to swish it around and you want to throw it out. When you go to spit it out, make sure you do not spit it in the sink because it can clog your plumbing. So you want to go ahead and spit it out into a garbage can. Okay, and you do not want to swallow that because it's picking up all the bacteria in the mouth and all that cancer stuff, and you don't want to swallow any of it. Number two, you can swish and rinse your mouth out with magnesium oil. Magnesium oil is very alkalizing, and it will help alkalize the mouth area. Number three, you can swish and rinse with baking soda. It's, you can use like 4 ounces of water to a tablespoon of baking soda, and that's also very, very alkalizing. Baking soda is very alkalizing for the body, and that can also help to alkalize the cancer in the mouth. There's also a detox product called Flor Essence, Flor Essence, Essence, and he says that is also wonderful to that you can put it in your mouth and you can spit it out, or you can also drink it too. And you can go anywhere online. I even checked it out, and yeah, pretty much you can buy it anywhere. There is also something called the Magic Mouthwash, and this is also great for children. If you have children when they get a sore throat or whatever, it's 1 part milk of magnesium, because it's alkalizing. 1 part milk of magnesia, 1 part Benadryl, and 1 part water. The Benadryl will actually numb the mouth completely. So if this person is in pain, they can actually use this mouthwash and it will numb their whole mouth, and it will take some of the pain away. There is also a product called MMS. It's Miracle Mineral Solution. It's by Jim Humble. And there's been a lot of controversy about this product. Just be kind with the comments, because the FDA is even going after this guy for this product. It's been known to cure malaria and stop malaria, and they've literally tried to shut this guy down. But I don't know if I would recommend swallowing the product. I used to, but it does detox very, very quickly. So, and it has been known to kill cancer. So, if you want to drink it, you mix two products together, and you can get it off Amazon or just Google MMS. You can just swish it and dump it. It kind of has like a bleachy ammonia taste to it, but it does kill everything. So, all right. So that was Mel, and next on the list is someone who signed their email junk mail. So, hi junk mail. All right. So junk mail writes, "What is a safe amount of ginger to consume?" You know, I gave this a lot of thought. And I don't like Googling stuff, and I don't like looking up answers because, wow, you can Google, what type of water should I drink, and you'll have 50,000 answers. So, with something like this, what is a safe amount of ginger to consume? I think that common sense has to come into play here. Everything within moderation. Even moderation needs moderation. So, it's you want to remember that anything that you consume a lot of starts to build up in your body. You don't want to consume the same foods day after day after day, because it does start to build up in your body. You don't have to look any further than carrots. If you eat carrots over and over and over and over, your skin starts to get that orangey color because it starts building up. It may not happen the first day, may not happen the second day, the first week, the second week, but after time, it does. So you really want to take into consideration, that into consideration. The second thing with ginger is great for the stomach. It's great for the bowels, but ginger can also have the opposite effect if you use too much. So if you use too much ginger, you're going to end up irritating your bowels. You can end up with serious diarrhea or horrible upset stomach. So, you want to keep all that stuff in mind, and then use your own judgment. I like to get people thinking, because I think there's a lot of people out there that kind of follow people blindly, like a cult. It's like, okay, well, you tell me what to say, and you tell me what to do, and you tell me what to eat, and that's what I'm going to do. And, I want anyone that follows me, anyone that listens to me, to use their head, use their logic, because there's going to be a day when your guru's not going to be around, when your teacher's not going to be available, and you need to start. One of the things that I advise is to start honing in on your own body, and start listening to the needs of your own body and what your own body is telling you. Because sometimes your body will tell you, hey, I don't need any more of that. Or hey, I do need more of that. So your own body is going to be your best teacher, your best guru, and your best go-to for answers. He also, junk mail also has a second question, which is about food combining. When I first got into this, I was like, what the hell is food combining? I didn't have any idea or anything, but I quickly learned about food combining. And the person that you want to go to this junk mail is Dr. Harvey Diamond, because he wrote the book on food combining. And if you have a lot of intestinal issues, if you have irritable bowel, if you have whatever, fill in the blanks here, I don't care, Crohn's, tuberculosis, whatever, food combining is not such a great idea. When you start adding a whole bunch of things together, that's a lot of work that your intestines have to do. They have to do a lot of work. Okay, well, we need to separate these proteins from these sugars from, so I there's nothing that I love to do than just eat one certain thing at a sitting. Like, I will sit there and I will eat tons of watermelon, and then I will wait, and then I'll eat something else, and then I'll eat something else, because the less that you can condense what you're eating, the better you are internally. Not only that, but if something does not sit well with you, you know what it is. If you ate grapefruit and you wait, and all of a sudden you have stomach pains, well, you know it was the grapefruit. You don't have to guess, gee, was it the watermelon, or was it the cantaloupe, or was it the grapefruit, or you know what. Another thing about food combining is you definitely do not want to put your fruit with anything. You don't want to mix fruit with anything. Fruit digests very quickly, and anything that you mix fruit with, it's going to ferment. So the next thing you know is you're going to have tons of gas and tons of bloating, and you don't want that. So whenever I love going to the restaurants, and I love watching these people who go to the buffets and they eat this huge buffet, and as soon as they're done with the buffet, they think they're doing something really healthy for themselves by going over to the fruit bar, and then they're going to have their fruit for dessert. And I'm sitting there going, glad I'm not going home with that person, because I already know they're going to be a gas factory. They're going to be fermenting. All that fruit is going to be trying to get past that other food, and the other food's going to be stuck in the way, and it's just going to ferment everything. So, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of food combining. And if I'm going to do a salad, I want to make sure that, the salad's all raw and everything else. But I would never have like salad and fruit, or, anything like that. I really, really like to stay very simple when it comes to what I'm eating. And just like children, when you first start feeding them, you can always tell what's wrong. So especially if you have intestinal problems, you definitely don't want to be combining a lot of ingredients together, because remember, the more ingredients that you put in anything, the more problems that you're going to have, because the more things that have to come into play to break all those things down. Okay, so I just sit there and watch some of these people that eat, and I'm going, wow, okay, so now he's eating meat, and now he's eating grains, and now he's going to have bread, and then for dessert he's going to have ice cream. My goodness, he's going to spend the next 6 to 7 to 8 hours where his 80% of his body is just going to be needed just to digest the food that he put into his system. So he's going to feel tired, he's going to feel lethargic, he's going to feel like going to sleep, because his body's going, we need to rest right now, because we're using 80% of our resources to digest this junk that you just put into your stomach. So keep that in mind. I hope I've answered those questions for you, but that's the best I got on those. Okay, the next question is from the Bright-Eyed One. It's kind of cute. Okay, so her question, or his question, is, can you recommend how to stay motivated and eating healthy? I can recommend a few things that worked for me. I guess you're going to have to find what works for you. But what worked for me was, number one, remind yourself of your benefits. I'm going to fit into those really nice shorts. I'm going to look great in that bikini. I'm going to look great in those gym shorts. My thighs are going to look really nice for the ladies. My thighs are going to look really nice for the guys. I'll be able to get up out of this wheelchair and walk. Hey, I'll be able to walk the mall because I won't be out of breath. So you want to remind yourself, every day of why you started this. I would sit there, and in the beginning it was just like, I'm doing this and I want to stick to my guns because I want to get up out of this bed. I don't want to be in this bed anymore. And then it was like, I want to be able to walk to my car. And then it was like, I want to be able to walk around the block, and I want to be able to go to the gym, So you want to remind yourself of what the benefits in the long run will be. If there's a benefit that you want, whatever that benefit is, you're going to have to fill in, what they are for you. Number two, um, you want to reward yourself, but with non-food. Okay, so what I would do is, if I did really good every time that I would not partake of something that someone offered me, or every day that I did well, I would stick $1 in a jar. And then, at the end of the month, you can buy yourself a really nice outfit. Or, you can take yourself to, the zoo, or you can take yourself to a movie and, reward yourself. And just say, you know what, I'm doing this because I did really good this month. I did so good, or weekly or whatever. You can save up, and then on Sundays, reward yourself. Take yourself to a spa, get a massage, get a foot massage, get a chair massage. You can get a chair massage for like $10, and they do them at like Whole Foods and all this stuff, and reward yourself for the hard work that you're putting in, because, detoxing is hard work. A lot of people don't realize that, but it is. Okay, number three, you want to surround yourself with positive people. You want to surround, when I first started and I had to go completely raw because of my health, I surrounded myself with raw foodists. I joined every raw food group that I can think of. I kept asking people, hey, do you know anywhere else where I can go? I attended raw food groups. I bought raw food, magazines, everything. I just surrounded myself, and you kind of build this beautiful wall, of people that will inspire you. I deleted every single one of my junk eating friends, because I used to have a lot of friends on Facebook that would post their chocolate cake and their muffins and their this and their that, and I was like, oh no, this is not going to help me. So I deleted all those friends, and I surrounded myself with raw food friends, and they would post and I was like, oh yeah, I like that post. Oh yeah, I'm going to try that. Oh, that looks good. And that is going to help you a lot. So, unfortunately in life, whenever you want to get better with anything, if you want to, quit drinking alcohol, you have to surround yourself with sober friends and not visit the bar anymore. When you don't want to do, you want to get off drugs, you have to surround yourself with sober friends and get away from the drugs, and it's no different with food. You have to surround yourself with the right people and, the right inspiration to keep going. Number four, I found that really worked for me was keeping very graphic records. Not only do I write down how well I'm doing, but I also keep video logs. And whenever I feel like, God, I haven't gotten that far, this feels like, and I know a lot of people because I talk to you guys, and it's like, oh my God, this is taking forever. I sit there and I look back at one of my beginning videos, and I'm like, wow, okay. Not that bad. Hey, my hair's gotten shinier, and my skin is looking better, and I don't have all those lines where I had the lines, and my lips are getting better color, and you can tell I've lost weight, and I write down certain things like I used to have really bad restless leg syndrome, and now I look back at my notes and go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I forgot how bad my ankles used to hurt where I couldn't even make it out to the mailbox. So you want to you want to keep very graphic records, and that is going to really help you stay motivated on your health journey, on your weight loss journey, and all that. Okay, so the next person's question is Tina P. And Tina says, can certain foods cure Alzheimer's? I wish that I knew back a couple of years ago what I know now, because my grandmother passed away from Alzheimer's, and and back then I really didn't know any health information, and I didn't know any of this, and I believed what the doctors told me. There's nothing that can cure Alzheimer's. There's nothing we can do. All we can do is keep the patient comfortable till they finally lose their mind, and you know, pass away. And it was just so sad for me to watch this woman who had raised me and was so strong just literally deteriorate and not even realize who I was. So, yes, Tina, there is now proof that there is a link between inflammation and the buildup of amyloid plaque on the brain, which can increase Alzheimer's. And if any of you plaque, buildup, acid, lymphatic, it's all the same. Basically, when your system gets so toxic and you have put into this machine so many acids that it just cannot deal with acids anymore, those acids will eventually get up, into the brain, into the ears, into the sinuses. And there's nothing that causes more inflammation than acid. And when those acids become so much, it's gonna affect the brain. And inflammation can also occur around the brain. It can occur in your ears. It can occur in your sinuses. I mean, this is why you have the mucus congestion. This is why you have the ringing in the ears, and you have the weird, you can hear the cracking in your ears. This is all inflammation and lymphatic that you need to pull out of your head. And there's no better way to take care and attack Alzheimer's than diet. Herbs always help wonderfully, but you definitely want to attack it with diet. You want high fruits, you want high vegetables, you want to eat a very clean diet, and you also want to incorporate a lot of omega-3s into your diet. One of the best sources that I have found now, this will probably be the only time that you will ever hear me mention a dairy product. And Joanna Budwig, she did some wonderful things back in the 50s. But anyway, she has I think one of the best ways to incorporate a large amount of omega-3s or flax seed oil into your system. And the way that I did it, because in the beginning I did have to get a lot of omega-3s into my system. And that's how I was introduced to the Joanna Budwig protocol. And you can, you can Google that. Last name is Budwig. And basically, you take 2 tablespoons of the flaxseed oil, and you take 2 tablespoons of, it's got to be low-fat, organic cottage cheese. And what happens is you mix it at a very high speed with a hand blender, and it changes the properties of the cottage cheese completely. I mean, it's not even considered dairy anymore, and you will not even be able to taste the cottage cheese. I don't really prefer cottage cheese, but when you do it, it doesn't even taste like cottage cheese anymore. It completely changes the properties. And what I used to do to mine, and this is food combining, and I know you shouldn't do fruits with anything else, but I didn't have a problem with combining these things for some reason. And I would do my 2 tablespoons of the flaxseed oil, my 2 tablespoons of the low-fat organic cottage cheese, and then I would add like a teaspoon of honey and grinded up pineapple. And that's what I would have for breakfast. And it's a wonderful, wonderful protocol to get into your system. It's very refreshing, and you can get large amounts of the flaxseed oil, and you cannot taste the flaxseed oil. That's what I love about this. You cannot taste the cottage cheese, and you cannot taste the flaxseed oil. And every once in a while, I still do this about every, at least once a month. I will do that, and I will mix that and have it for breakfast. And I'm not sure, you'd have to get into the scientific part of it all, how it actually changes the properties so that it doesn't even you can't even it can't even be constituted as dairy any longer. And she was a scientist, I believe, and she came up with this protocol for cancer. And I remember that it was very healing for my pancreas when I first started doing it. So that finishes the question and answer portion of this program. So I hope that I was able to answer your questions. And I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be probably off air for a while. I'm not going to be doing videos for a little bit because right now I'm trying to work on my website and I'm trying to get some products to you guys. I'm dealing with a lady right now that has natural organic soaps, and I'm trying to get these organic soaps up on the website. And I'm trying to start carrying magnesium oil in a spray. And one of the things that I'm working on right now is there is a man here in town who he's trying to get this drink. It's a heart drink. He's trying to get it patented right now, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed because we should hear back tomorrow whether he's going to patent it or not. But it's even been in the health news because it's amazing the things that this drink is doing. It's a apple cider drink, but it's got certain minerals and stuff in it, and there's a bunch of people that are, great reviews from people with type 2 diabetes, where that they have actually gotten their numbers under control and their cholesterol under control, and acid reflux, erratic heart rates, chronic coughs, high blood pressure, and my favorite, the thyroid. So, my big thing is for the diabetes and the acid reflux. So I've been, I went to go see him, and he's going to start actually selling it as soon as he gets it patented. And he wants to have some people that can sell it for him. And I want to try to get in on the ground level of this because I really want to get this out to you guys and get it on my website. I want to be one of the first. I have a family member who's on like 6 different blood pressure medications and heart medications. He wears a pacemaker, and he's already had like 3 strokes and a heart attack. And I figured I wasn't going to be the one to try this. He was going to be the one to try this because I wanted to see if it worked on him. And it's supposed to slowly help you get off your medication, and it does not interfere. It's completely natural, so it does not interfere with your medications. So I had him take it, and you only take like a little quarter cup once a day. And after like a week, he was just raving about it to me. He was just telling me that he couldn't believe how wonderful he felt and how his numbers had gone down. His blood pressure numbers were getting under control, and he felt like he could go dancing. So I'm going to go meet with this man this coming up Saturday and sit down with him and see if I can be one of his distributors, because this is kind of his baby, and he's been working on it for a while, but he wants to be sure that he can have control over how much it's going to be sold for, because he doesn't want anybody gouging other people with it. So I will definitely be coming back to you with a video and letting you know when I have this available, because I know that there is a bunch of you out there that have problems with diabetes, and I know there's a bunch of you out there that have problems with cholesterol and acid reflux and erratic heartbeats and high blood pressure and thyroid. And I really, really would love to see you guys try it and hope that it works as great as it's worked for all these other people. So until we meet again, please stay happy, stay healthy, and you're always free to send in your questions. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.